Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the fourth podcast episode. I'm Connor McCann here with my co-host,
AJ Pistolas.
and we'll be talking about our Week 6 fantasy football and football reactions in general. AJ, how'd you do in fantasy this week?
I actually had an amazing week, unexpectedly. After all the Sunday games ended, I was projected to, or I had a 10% chance to win. And then the Falcons had an incredible game against the Bills. Bijan had 35 points and Drake London had 31 points, and they helped me have an amazing comeback this week. So, we dropped 150 points. I had Matthew Stafford, only 9 points. I thought he was going to have another good game, but, I start him, he does bad. I bench him, he does good.
That's just fantasy for you.
Yep. And then I had Quinshon Judkins.
Oof.
I might honestly, I'm getting pretty tired of him. 3.8 or 3.6 points. AJ Brown had 14. Better than usual for him. Drake London 31. I started AJ Barner over Sam Laporta because Sam Laporta was doing so bad. AJ Barner, he had 10 points, but obviously right when I bench Sam Laporta, he has a good game. That's again another. What about you, Connor? How'd you do?
I got a good win against Toby Carpenter. I did have Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford. I started Matthew Stafford over Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield got 10 more points than Matthew Stafford. Yep. Matthew Stafford only had 9 points, and they were facing against the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. So I thought, the Ravens were going to turn the ball over, and, Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford were just going to feast. But Puka Nacua got injured middle of the game. He came back, so it's not like a serious injury. And Matthew Stafford just didn't really go off in general. But, I really relied on Christian McCaffrey this week, as I do every week. He has 24.1 points. I mean, I just say this every week. He has over 20 points every single week. I have Chase Brown, 8.9 points, which is honestly kind of a step up for him. Then I have Puka Nacua, like I said, 4.8 points. Ladd McConkey had his first good week. Thankfully, Quinton Johnson was labeled out right before the game, and I was able to switch him out. And then Ladd McConkey got 7 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown, so 23 points. I did start Sam Laporta this week, so he played against the Chiefs, and the Lions always notoriously do well against the Chiefs.
Yep.
Not so much this week, which we'll get into. DeAndre Swift, 25.5 points. Definitely that 55-yard touchdown was definitely a key factor in my win. The Bills' defense and Matt Prater was the reason why my points were kind of low this week, because I had the Bills' defense with 1 point, and I had picked up Matt Prater, and he had 2 points. So that's 3 total points for the Bills, because the Bills faced against the Falcons. They didn't have a good week. Yeah. Still got a good win. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so how about those games this week?
I started with the Thursday Night Football game, a shocker. The New York Giants, doubling the score of the Philadelphia Eagles. They beat them 34-17. Your guy, Cam Scatterbo, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Dart, he didn't look so bad. I mean, he only had 8 incompletions. He threw for under 200 yards and only 1 touchdown. But, that's a step in the right direction. The Eagles' offense is definitely it's definitely a red flag problem right now. Yeah,
downhill since the beginning of the season, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Saquon Barkley. He's just not, like I said last week. He's not doing last year Saquon Barkley was. This week he had 12 carries for 58 yards, no touchdowns. Jalen Hurts through the air is actually doing better, but the Eagles' offense is actually doing worse. Mainly because their rushing attack is just not doing well. Cam Scatterbo, like I said, 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hyatt got a few catches. Wan'Dale Robinson was the leading receiver for the New York Giants. And AJ, you got anything else to add?
Well, I'm just glad to see the Giants beating the Eagles. Obviously, it was, people thought, the best team in the league beating what was the worst team in the league, but I things are actually starting to change a lot now. We see a lot of the good teams this week losing, so stuff is definitely becoming more tight. I have to say, the NFL is very entertaining this year.
Yeah, this is one of those years where it's some teams can be really good one week, and then the next week they're just awful.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this game real quick. The Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets game. This game was horrific.
Was it
for
9
the Jets.
sacks?
9 sacks. Justin Fields had 45 yards passing, and 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Justin Fields has thrown 0 interceptions all year, but that's not a good thing because the Jets are 0-6, and the Broncos. Honestly, I was very disappointed in the Broncos' performance. I was watching this and I was like, damn. Like,
I mean,
these guys
the issue
suck.
with the Jets is that their owner is just awful.
I mean, there's just a lot of issues with the Jets. I mean, Garrett Wilson, 3 catches for 13 yards. I mean, once again, they had no passing game this week. Justin Fields, I don't think this one game can just, solidify all of Justin Fields' performances this year because statistically, he's had a good year so far. But obviously, New York Jets are 0-6, and when you're the quarterback of an 0-6 team, obviously you're not doing that great. But I don't think Justin Fields is the main problem in New York. I think it's just an overall everything.
I agree. That team is pretty miserable. Seahawks Jaguars. That was a surprising game.
JSN is definitely climbing his ranks in the top 10 for probably top 10 wide receivers as of now or so far this season. 8 receptions for 162 yards, 1 touchdown. Sam Darnold, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, overall great week. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence surprised me this week, but everybody else just didn't really have that good of a game. Their rushing ability was very lackluster this game. Their leading rusher was Travis Etienne with 12 carries for 27 yards.
I mean, Brian Thomas has had a pretty disappointing year. I expected him to do good. This is
he kind of touched. He got a pretty good game a few days ago, but I definitely see what you mean. The drops for sure.
It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and he was. I really liked him.
But I mean, another thing is Jaguars 4-2, I believe. Both of their losses. I mean, it's funny. They still have one of the best defenses in the league. Their offense just can't respond. It's another example of punt. So once the Jaguars fix their offense, they can be a really good team.
Yeah, I agree. Trevor Lawrence is, he's on year 6 now, but I really liked what I saw from him last game. If he can just do what he did last game, this team can, go far. But if he's, normal Trevor Lawrence, and this team, most likely isn't really going that far.
Yeah.
But, there's a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
Chargers Dolphins. I was very, very disappointed in the Chargers because they barely got a win against this Dolphins team, where Tua throws 3 interceptions, and I mean, Justin Herbert just couldn't get the ball moving until the second half. In the first half, he was nothing, but in the second half, he definitely picked it up a lot. Ladd McConkey, on my fantasy team, he had that good week this week. He had that really great catch to put him in a field goal range with a minute left, because Miami's defense literally just played prevent defense, and the Chargers just marched down the field. Yeah. And then Chargers game-winning field goal. Dolphins, can't really close out games. Tua can't close out games, like I said last week. Devon Achane, 16 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the next leading rusher was Tua with 1 carry for 4 yards. So, he definitely carried a lot of the rushing ability this week, obviously.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 1, Jalen Waddle, 6 receptions for 95 yards. Overall, I mean, I was very, very surprised that the Chargers have taken this much of a downward spiral since the first 3 weeks, because they were 3-0 to start the season. They barely beat the Dolphins. They've had 2 bad losses against the Giants and Commanders. So, hopefully they can still stay up on the up front.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have that much to say about this game. I mean, it was kind of disappointing in the Chargers. They looked like a great team coming out 3-0, but they have started to get a little shaky. The Giants, after that one loss, they look like a different team, not in a good way. So,
yeah. I agree with you.
What else do we have?
Rams,
Ravens.
You want to start us off?
Rams, Ravens. I actually, I really don't know what to say about the Ravens. Honestly, it is very disappointing. To see what I would have liked them. I really would like to see Lamar win a Super Bowl, but it's not looking good for him right now, especially just because what's his injury?
He's got a hamstring injury. He'll be
Hamstring.
out next week too.
There's a lot of
most
hamstring
most
injuries.
likely. Yeah, Ravens are 1-5. They've had a really tough schedule, but
They have.
obviously that's no excuse for being 1-5. But they've had a really tough schedule. It's not impossible to turn this around, but they because like when Lamar comes back, he's one of the most talented. Arguably the most talented. I wouldn't go there, but he's up there from most talented quarterbacks. It's not over yet, but it is definitely it's definitely in panic mode.
Yeah, I mean, it like you said, they are getting a lot of tough games out of the way, so they definitely could still have a very good record. Just it will be hard to win. What is it, like 8, 9, 10 games in a row? So, I mean, it is possible. The Ravens still are a solid team. They just need to fix it,
Yeah.
get Lamar back, and just fix their offense.
Yeah, Rams honestly did not have a good game. It was 17-3, but it was more just the Ravens losing than the Rams winning. The Rams did not have a good game, but it was the game was already over before it started because it was the Rams versus Ravens. The Ravens really had no chance without Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Did you mention this? Derrick Henry. He actually had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he had 122 yards, I think.
24
Yeah.
carries. So
Yeah.
I think it is one of his better games this season. But
Yeah.
there have been some rumors of Derrick Henry maybe getting traded just because he is getting old and the Ravens are falling apart. They could get some good value off of that. So we'll see what happens with him. Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley share the quarterback room.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
I mean, one of Cooper Rush went 11 for 19. Tyler Huntley went 10 for 15. Both of them had under 100 yards. So.
Yeah, honestly, just sloppy game from both teams.
Yeah.
How about the Cardinals-Colts game?
How about it?
Oh yeah, Jacoby Brissett, came in for an injured Kyler Murray, threw 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That's better than what Kyler Murray would do. He did throw 44 passes though. The rushing ability, just wasn't there. Leading rusher was 9 carries for 34 yards. James Conner is obviously out for the season. The Colts, 5-1. I mean, really, really good. Did not expect that. Jonathan Taylor, I think, has been the main engine for this team so far that nobody's really talking about. People are just talking about Indiana Jones, aka Daniel Jones. But I mean, Jonathan Taylor, I think, is the real backbone of this offense. Yeah, because the receiving core, they have a lot of small good pieces, like an Alec Pierce and a Josh Downs, but they don't have that main star in the receiving core. But Daniel Jones is obviously having a better year than anybody could have expected on year 7, so, or maybe 6, but yeah,
I think he's a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to see the Colts team doing well. They have been struggling for a while now. I don't really know when's their last playoff win.
Last playoff win?
Yeah, it might. I don't know if they gone to playoff win since.
Since Luck? No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No, I
so
don't think so.
it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
But Tyler Warren is having a great year as a rookie.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He had
he's
6
definitely
receptions.
better than Colts and Loveland.
Yeah.
The Bears tight end who was drafted in the same draft
6
class,
receptions for 63 yards.
Mhm.
But I agree with you on Jonathan Taylor, as he is definitely an older running back, and he is not getting the credit he deserves because, Daniel Jones being such a bad quarterback for all these years with the Giants, now he's doing good. He's kind of stealing the spotlight from Jonathan Taylor, but I'm glad to see this team doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably one of the best games of the week. The Panthers-Cowboys. This was a really exciting game to watch.
Yeah.
Let's see. On the Panthers side, Rico Dondell, 30 carries, 183 yards. I mean, that's ridiculous. He almost had as many yards as Bryce Young. Bryce Young had 100. He didn't crack the 200 yards mark. He had 199. He did have 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Let's see. The Cowboys. Dak Prescott. No one's talking about how good of a year Dak Prescott's having.
Yeah.
Kyle McSweeney has him on his fantasy team, and
He's averaging a lot of fantasy
Yeah,
points.
he's averaging a lot. Of
I
fantasy
think
points.
I did play against him this week, so yeah, he's having fantasy wise and stat wise, he's having a great year.
Yeah. Do you have George Pickens?
I do.
Oh, okay. That's another 9 receptions, 168 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he had 31 points this week.
Yeah.
He still continues to be the most inconsistent wide receiver in the league.
Yeah,
it's absurd.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, for sure.
And not even in a bad way, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Javonte Williams, 13 carries for 29 yards. That was the leading rusher. They had no real rushing ability this week for the Cowboys. Teteroa McMillan had three receptions for 29 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is the most touchdowns he's had in his career. So, oh wow, Rico Dondal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rico Dowd. How do you say his last name? Dowdell.
Something like that.
Dowdell.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Was the leading receiver this week?
He was.
He also had a receiving touchdown.
He had.
Oh wow, I should pick him up.
33 points, I think.
Oh wow,
I remember one of my friends. I think it was Jack Greener sat him on the bench, and he was pissed. Because, I mean, that is not a receiver you would expect to score 33 points.
Yeah, definitely not.
But Bryce Young, almost literally all of Bryce Young's passing yards were from Rico.
Yeah,
he had 199 passing yards. Rico had
that's rushing yards.
Or sorry, Rico had 183 rushing yards.
I said that before. Rico had almost as many rushing yards as Bryce Young did passing yards. Bryce Young did have 3 touchdowns though, so it wasn't a bad day for Bryce Young, but he definitely wasn't the backbone of the win. The Patriots. Everyone's talking about the Patriots. The Patriots are now number 1 in the AFC East.
Yeah.
They got a good win against the Saints. The score was a lot closer than what it actually was. I mean, Drake May played.
Didn't he get 100 yards called back?
Yeah,
that game?
he did. Yeah, because he got 2. The Patriots had 2 random, invisible offensive pass interferences.
Yeah, I saw this. The Stephon Diggs one was, it was a little bit of a push off.
Yeah, it was a little
But I mean, the other one though, that was not a good call.
Yeah. Drake May was the leading rusher and leading passer, so that's cool. Yeah. 261 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, and 9 carries for 28 yards on the ground.
No turnovers.
No turnovers.
It's a great game.
Great game. Stephon Diggs, didn't have the greatest game, but he did have how many yards called back on him. So he had three catches for 28 yards on the stat sheet, but he did also have how many yards taken away.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler.
He had a pretty decent game.
Yeah, he only had 6 incompletions. He had 227 yards. Alvin Kamara did not have a good game. Chris Olave actually had a decent game, 6 catches for 98 yards.
Taysom Hill had a touchdown.
Yeah, Taysom. He's just everywhere.
Yeah.
He's every single position.
Yeah.
But I think on the stat sheet he's labeled as a tight end.
Yeah, the Saints really don't have a solid running back. It's Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara both just always get lined up in the receiver position. So the Saints just obviously don't have a running game.
But neither do the Patriots. So this game was pretty much all in the air.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's first start let me redo that. Because I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns, not the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. Ready? I'll give you a countdown.
Okay.
5, 4, 3.
Okay. So now to talk about the Browns-Steelers game. Dylan Gabriel, 221 yards, 52 pass attempts. Wow, I did not know that. Wow, I'm just seeing this for the first time. Aaron Rodgers is leading the Steelers to a 4-1 record, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf was the leading wide receiver, 4 receptions for 95 yards with 1 touchdown. The Browns are the Browns. They only have 1 win, and that 1 win was against the Packers. So
yeah.
To
be honest, I feel like we've seen this from the Steelers a lot from the past 5 years. They always start out strong and have a pretty solid regular season. Honestly, with this team, they will definitely have a good record. It just comes down to how they perform in the playoffs because they just are not a playoff team. So even though they are, what are they, 5-1?
They're 4-1. They had a bye week, so they're 4-1.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it all really with this team, all it comes down to is the playoffs.
Yeah. Titans Raiders. We don't really want to talk about that. The Raiders won 20-10. Both teams are just not good. Tony Pollard had 10 carries for 34 yards. Yeah, he just kind of stinks.
Geno Smith continues to be the worst quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he's pretty down there. He's down there.
He's pretty down there.
Mac Jones was actually the leading passing yards leader this week with 347 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns and 0 touchdowns. Excuse me, 2 interceptions and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah. Did Brock Purdy go in at all that game or no?
No, he's still hurt.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey just helped out my fantasy team with 17 carries, 54 yards, 1 touchdown, and 57 receiving yards and 7 catches. So, thank you for him. Kendrick Bourne had 5 catches for 142 yards. Same thing with the Rams Thursday night football game last week. Like Kendrick Bourne has had 2 back-to-back great games. I think he's Mac Jones receiver 1 right now with Kittle out. Baker Mayfield was receiving MVP chance. I have him on my fantasy team. He had 256 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That team is just having a great season, honestly.
So I want to talk to you about Baker Mayfield MVP chance. So far in week 6, what do you think about Baker Mayfield being, MVP candidate? He's got a 5-1 team.
I think Baker being an MVP candidate is a very, very high chance of happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the best the Bucs have looked since their Super Bowl season with Tom Brady, and it's good to see, honestly. Baker, especially being, what is he like? He's like 31, 32, and maybe 30, and I mean, this is one of the best years he's ever had. He's looking like a franchise QB right now, and it's good to see. So, I mean, other than Josh Allen, I guess, who's having a pretty decent season.
People are just overreacting to it because Josh Allen has had 2 losses back to back.
Yeah.
Also, I am if you know me, you know that I hate NFL awards. They are just whoever votes on them is just so dumb. I could just give you some examples. One example, Joe Burrow won Comeback Player of the Year last year. Do you remember what he came back from? The Bengals went from 9-8 to 9-8 without him and 9-8 with him.
Yeah.
He missed some games. He missed 5 or 6 games last year.
Well,
Excuse me, 2 years ago. And then last year, he won Comeback Player of the Year.
A lot of people wanted DeMar Hamlin to win that award.
I'm not talking about the 2 years ago. I'm talking about the last year award. How is it not J.K. Dobbins? J.K. Dobbins had 2 torn ACLs and came back with the Chargers last year and had a great year. And he didn't win Comeback Player of the Year. It's just not – I also just don't like that award specifically. Also, I think it could have went to Sam Darnold as well. Sam Darnold was a backup for the 49ers.
Yeah.
And on the Vikings, he became one of the, highest passers in the NFL. One of the, I think it should have went to Sam Darnold or J.K. Dobbins well over Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that statement. I mean, also speaking of Sam Darnold, he continues to show that he's always a solid pick. He's still having a great year with the Seahawks.
Seattle, yeah.
He's definitely one of the more underrated QBs in the league.
Yeah, no one likes to give him credit because he hasn't done anything, meaningful yet in the, postseason or late in the regular season, which is completely fair, completely fair. I mean, if you're a regular season quarterback, you're just giving your hopes up. There's no point. But yeah, NFL awards, I don't think they're, really voted correctly at all. But, Baker Mayfield as MVP so far through week 6.
Also have Drake May as a candidate too.
Yeah, not a bad shout. Once again, it's only week 6, so we got a long season ahead. But Baker Mayfield MVP shout, not totally against it.
Yeah. Bengals Packers, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's debut as a Bengal. Yeah, I mean, he just did Joe Flacco things. 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw 0 interceptions. Jamar Chase was the leading receiver, obviously, as 10 receptions, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. The Packers, Jordan Love, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The leading receiver was the rookie Matthew Golden with 3 receptions for 86 yards. He's on my team. He's on my bench, though. Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher with 18 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. Packers offense is always not top tier with Jordan Love. It's like in the previous years as well. The Packers, once again, their only loss has been to the Cleveland Browns. It's just one of those years where one of the best teams in the league can just go to one of the worst. I don't really have much to add on this game. I mean, the Bengals, Joe Burrow's hurt, so
I don't have much to say either. For Joe Flacco's age, I believe he's 40. So he's I mean, it's obviously a quarterback, so it doesn't matter as much. But he's still having. He's definitely one of the more
He's won a
reliable
comeback player of the year.
quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, he's always a solid pick. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. One of the best games of the week, the Chiefs-Lions. The Chiefs always, do poorly against, or should I say Patrick Mahomes always does, somewhat, poorly against Jared Goff, winning-wise. Like, Jared Goff has the most wins against Patrick Mahomes in the past however many years. But, Chiefs got a win today, 30-17. Patrick Mahomes had 4 touchdowns. He had 257 yards passing. He had 32 yards rushing. He had a rushing touchdown and 3 passing touchdowns. I faced off against him in fantasy, and Patrick Mahomes got 31 points. And I actually remember Drake May was going off in the Patriots game, and I was wondering why Toby had him on his bench. I was like, oh, I'm so glad he had him on his bench. But Drake May had 27 points, and Patrick Mahomes had 31 points. And I was like, oh, man. Yeah. Travis Kelce, he did have a drop, but he did have 6 receptions for 78 yards. Hollywood Brown 4 receptions for 45 yards. Patrick Mahomes is definitely having just a bounce back year from last year statistically in the regular season, and he gets Rashee Rice back next week.
I mean, their record doesn't show it, but the Chiefs technically do look better than they did last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and also just look like last year, like they just had like the easiest schedule ever, and also they just like barely beat like all the bad teams, and but yeah, this year they got a much harder schedule, and they do have 3 losses, but they're still the Chiefs. They still showed it tonight. Beat the Lions.
Yeah, Chiefs are the Chiefs. I mean, every time the Chiefs and Lions play, it definitely is a good game. I know there was a I don't know what to call it. It wasn't really a fight, but there was.
Yeah, Brian Branch, Juju Smith-Schuster.
There was a little.
His coach didn't defend Brian Branch, so that means Brian Branch was probably in the wrong. Dan Campbell said I love Brian, but what he did was unacceptable. So.
Well, I mean, he just can't go up to someone and punch him after the game's over.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know what was said. We don't know what was what has been going on, individually between them throughout the game.
I mean, even though he did punch him, Juju Smith-Schuster is known to talk a lot of trash. I do remember him getting into a lot of fights with the Steelers back in the day, especially because he used to do TikTok dances on people's logos.
Yeah, he got lit up by
But yeah, so maybe he had it coming from him. Who knows what was said?
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Sam Laporta, like I said, 5 receptions, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a down week. 9 receptions, 45 yards. Jameson Williams was the leading receiver with 6 receptions for 66 yards and a touchdown. Jared Goff, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Yeah, overall, I mean, it was just a good overall game. Neither team played poorly. The Falcons game, you obviously, you obviously were very happy with the result of this game. Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Well, the Falcons, I think, have a lot of potential this year. They have a ton of potential. Hopefully, it will be used in the postseason. Falcons haven't been good in the postseason for a very long time. Arguably, not even since they made it to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But I'm just happy to see teams like the Falcons having a good year. Drake London and Bijan Robinson are definitely the 2 winning factors of that team. Yeah. Even though Michael Penix, I think, is also one of the more underrated QBs in the league. He was amazing with Washington, and this year,
I remember watching him play. Yeah. Also, did Bijan and Drake London both have 30-plus points?
Yes. Bijan, I think, had 35. Drake had 31.
Wow. Yeah.
Incredible. But it is good to see the Falcons having a solid team like that. Also, their defense is also very good, too.
They did not have the Bills. I thought you talked about the Bills. The Bills' defense did not have a good week last week.
No, the Bills' defense did not have a good week. The Falcons did, though.
Yeah.
They have, I think, is it A.J. Terrell?
A.J. Terrell, he was everyone was saying that he was a bad pick, when he was picked. And now he's like one of the top.
He is one of the top safeties in the league.
Corners in the league, yeah. But everyone was saying that it was such a bad pick. And another thing that I don't like about the NFL is that people just judge rookies way too quickly. Like even out of the draft, people were saying oh, this is a bad pick, like that, like, which is okay. But like to give it like AJ Terrell like a C+ grade on the draft, you can look it up. Like that, there's a real report of AJ Terrell getting a C+ grade right out of the draft. But
I mean,
it's like
most people just say stuff.
yeah, I know, but like it's just kind of just like, come on, really? You haven't
agree.
you haven't seen him play yet in the system. Bills offense did not have a good week. Josh Allen, 180 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Josh Palmer was the leading receiver with 2 receptions for 60 yards. Yeah, really, it was really just a Josh Allen not playing to Josh Allen standards. That was kind of the reason why Bills lost this game, which is also the reason why he's kind of the MVP, which, because if he has a bad game, then the team loses. So, yeah. Like you said, Michael Penix, 250 yards, 1 touchdown. He's definitely getting underrated because literally no one is talking about him. But I still need to see a little bit more of him to call him like that good.
Agreed.
Yeah, and finally the Bears and Commanders.
I mean,
the Bears get revenge after the Hail Mary last year.
Yeah, I guess, but the Commanders are falling apart. Everyone thought, or a lot of people honestly, thought that Commanders had a chance, especially because they made it to the NFC Championship last year.
I knew that they were kind of going to have maybe not replicate that success.
Yeah, I just, that's another example of one of a team who has been historically bad, and they haven't been a solid team since, RG3. So I hope to see more success out of this team in the future, and I think a lot of it right now is obviously because Jaden Daniels just came off an injury. He's wearing a knee brace, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Also, I think it's kind of like all Jaden Daniels. I mean, look at his are you looking at the stats right now? Yeah. Look at his number one rusher, number one receiver. The number one receiver is Chris Moore. The number one rusher is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Should I know who that is?
Ja'Cory Krosky. Oh, that's Bill. JSM.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's having
Yeah.
He's on the rise. He's a rookie. A lot of people have been talking about him.
I do know who that is.
He was in the interview with Tom Brady.
Yeah. I know who he is actually.
Okay.
But yeah, Jaden Daniels. I mean, so far, I mean, he's kind of just like a one-man show. But like you said, Ja'Cory is on the rise. Jaden Daniels did have 3 touchdowns, 211 yards passing, 52 yards on the ground. The Bears got the game-winning field goal. Caleb Williams had that 55-yard touchdown to DeAndre Swift. So, that definitely helps my fantasy team because I started DeAndre Swift this week. DeAndre Swift was the leading rusher and receiver.
Yeah. On the Commanders side, it would be nice to see Deebo Samuel step up a little bit. He hasn't really had a great season.
I mean, I wouldn't really expect him to step up in a big way. But also, I want to talk about DJ Moore having a down year for sure. This week he had 3 catches for 42 yards. On Carolina, people forget, but he was really good. Mm-hmm. Because he never had a stable quarterback.
I mean,
at all.
Again, that's an example of a player who's kind of just been stuck on a bad team, and honestly just wasted potential. When I heard that he was being traded from the Panthers to the
Browns
or to the Bears.
To the Bears. Sorry.
It kind of was disappointing because seeing a good receiver like that still go from a bad quarterback to another bad quarterback, it's just it's disappointing. I think he has a lot of wasted potential, especially now because he's getting older. But yeah, that's my opinion on DJ Moore.
Yeah. Roman Dunze, 2 catches for 32 yards. He was the 9th overall pick last year. Last year. But people never really expected him to have superstar potential. People kind of he was always just consistent as watching. He would never go off for 150 yard games as much. So people really the Bears kind of drafted him for consistency. And Michael Penix was actually 1 pick before Rome Odunze, and they were college teammates. But yeah, Rome Odunze, in his second year so far, he's actually been pretty disappointing, especially when Malik Neighbors was drafted ahead of him. And Malik Neighbors is out for the year, but pretty disappointing from Rome Odunze. I actually expected more from him, but still in his career, who knows?
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
No, not really. I just, again, these are two teams sort of like having similar years so far. But it is hard to say just only because it's week 6. But I wish the best for both these teams. I think both of them could end up having a decent year if they use their potential correct.
Yeah, so is that it?
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to conclude our 4th podcast episode. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Once again, I'm Connor McCann, my co-host.
AJ Pistolas.
And we'll see you next week. All right. Thank you.